this tutorial will be to make these cute crocheted bags, which are inspired by the Animal Crossing video game series. It is one of my favorites, so I had to make these cute little bags for it. This tutorial is for the actual bag. As you can see, this one is yellow. Being inspired by the game series, this would be a bell bag. It is where they keep their currency, which they call bells. So the pattern is for the actual bag itself. I also do show you guys how to make this tie, which you can use, but obviously as with this example, I used ribbon. You can really use anything you want to tie it off. The star itself, it is not my pattern, so I am not showing you guys how to make that. I do have a link below and on my blog where I feature the pattern itself. I do have a link to where I got this free pattern from for the star, so please go check it out. Or you can use any star pattern that you like or that you prefer. We're gonna start with 10 half double crochets inside the magic circle or the magic ring. And you go all the way around until you have 10. Now we have 10 half double crochets inside the magic ring. We are going to do one increase in each one for the next row. That means 2 half double crochets in each one. I'm going to be using this scrap yarn as a marker. So we do 2 half double crochets in each one. We're gonna go all the way around, making 2 in each half double crochet, or increasing each stitch. Okay, so we have 2 half double crochets in each one. This was our increased row, and so we have in total 20. For the third row, we're gonna do 1 single crochet in the first stitch and 1 increase in the second stitch. One half double crochet. We're doing half double crochets for this project. So we did 1, the next stitch 2 half double crochets. And just repeat all the way around. 1 half double crochets, 2 half double crochets. Alright, so we should have 30 in total. The next row is going to be, so we do 1 half double crochet, 1 half double crochet, and then an increase with 2 half double crochets. And we just repeat the same pattern all around. 1 half double crochet, 1 half double crochet, and 2 half double crochets. So we have 40 half double crochets or 40 stitches. We finished with that row. This is how big I want my bag, but if you wanted to make it bigger, you would just keep going with the increased rows. You can increase it to make it as big as you want. This will be the bottom of the bag. Sort of like a hat, depending how big you want the hat, you will make the increases at the crown of the hat, if that makes sense. But since this is as big as I want it, I'm just going to continue crocheting all around. I'm going to do one half double crochet in each stitch, and I'm going to do that for about 10 rows. So one half double crochet in each stitch. Again, we have 40 in total, so each row should have 40 stitches. And I'm just going to continue to crochet around for 10 rows. I won't show you guys that because it's going to take way too long, but again, 10 rows and I'll be right back. So I have finished 10 rows of half double crochet. The next thing we're going to do one row of a double crochet. So we do one double crochet in each stitch, and the total should be 40. So just go around with half double crochet in each stitch. So we are done with the one row of double crochet. Then the last 2 rows for the pattern is simply 2 rows of half double crochet. So the same way we did it down here where we had 10 rows of half double crochet, we're gonna do 2 extra rows on the top, and that will finish off our pattern. So simply you do one half double crochet in each stitch, and again each row should have 40 stitches. So you just keep doing half double crochet in each stitch for 2 rows, and I'll be back when it's done. So I am done with 2 rows of half double crochet. You can see that this is my row of double crochet right here, and I have 2 rows of half double. Now to finish the pattern, what I like to do, since we made this in the round and we used half double crochet, for the next one I would probably do a single crochet, and then I would finish off just so it makes it a little smoother, so the stitches don't look, as obvious that that's the end of the row. You can finish it off, and then I would just sew this in, and we're done with the bag. It should look like this. Now for the red tie, you can make this one as long or as short as you want. For my example, I chained 88, I believe, but again, you can make it as short or as long as you want. For that, I'm just gonna show you a small example. I just did my chain of however long I wanted it to be. Let's just do a little more. Okay, so pretend this is my chain of 80, 85, or however long you want to make it. I finished my chain, and then I simply did a slip stitch in each of the stitches. Skip the first one, so I would go into my second loop or second stitch and do a slip stitch, and just keep doing that on the whole row or your whole chain, and that is how you would end up with a tight enough tie for your bag. Now that we're done with the actual bag, we can add on the star. I do not show you guys how to make the star since it is not my pattern, but it is a free pattern. You can find the link to it down below in the description box and or on my blog. This one will go, the star will actually go about 2 rows underneath the double crochet row. As you can see here, this would be the double crochet row. It is a row that has the biggest spaces in between. That is where you will be threading through your tie for the bag. So I would say about 2 rows underneath that. You can center it on so you can kind of see or get an idea. This is the double crochet row. You can see it better in my example here. As you can see, that would be the row that you put your tie in. It's about 2 rows down. Of course, you can put it as low or as high as you want. It's up to you. So I would go ahead, center it, and then just sew it on with a needle. I'll see you guys when I finish. We have finished putting the star onto the bag, as you can see. Now we're ready to put our tie through the double crochet row up here. For this example, I'm going to be threading some ribbon because that is another great option. The one I gifted, actually, I used the ribbon for. It looked pretty cute, but in the pattern or in the video, I show you guys how to make this crocheted tie, I guess you would call it. It is simply a chain where you slip stitch into every stitch. So you chain the chain as long as you want it. I did for this one about, I believe, 85, something like that. So it just depends how long you actually want it. This is how long mine is. It gives me enough room to definitely tie a nice knot in the front. But again, it just depends how long you want to actually make it. It's really simple. Like I said, it's just a chain and slip stitch into every stitch after. For this one, I'm going to use ribbon, but you can really use anything you want. If you want to maybe braid a few strands or, you know, make an I-cord, whatever you want to do, just make sure it is a little smaller or small enough to fit through the spaces in between the double crochets, since it will have to go through there. Now, I do want an exiting point to be right above the star. Again, as you can see here, both sides of my tie come out from right above the star. That is where you will be tying your bow. And with the ribbon, as you can see, I'm just using a needle and I'm going to thread it through. But if you use the chain tie I show you guys how to make, it's pretty easy. You don't even need the needle. You can just do it with your fingers. And for me, I like to do back and forth between 2 stitches, as you can see. And it does not have to be exact, especially in the back. Well, it depends where you put the star on. For me, the back, as you can see, it is all the way back here. And because we did work this in the round, it is a little offset. I'll show you guys when I get there. But even if it's not exactly on the row, it doesn't matter. Because when you cinch it up to actually make the tie on it, no one's gonna see that. So we just go back and forth. Oops. Oh. Okay, I believe it's right here. You can see that this is where my row ends with 2 double crochets. And then this is where we started a row. It comes all the way down here with 2 double crochets. I don't know if you can see that clearly. So I'm going to go like this, if you guys can see that. And it's not going to affect it any. Like I said, especially once you cinch it up to close it, no one's going to notice. And I go all the way around like that. Okay, and this one it seems like we're going to be a little off, so I'm going to go past 2 stitches and I'm just going to do 1 in the last one. Again, nobody will notice. Just kind of even it out. Now, this is how mine looks. When you cinch it up, it's going to go something like this. Of course, you would have something in it, so I'm sure you guys have seen in the beginning, I have some pictures or at the end maybe I'll post more pictures of how the bags look like when they have stuff inside. They look a lot cuter. But that's how you would cinch it up. You would tie a knot however it is you like to tie your knots. I mean, tie a bow. That's what I do. And then tie a cute bow. And there you go. I hope you guys enjoyed.